way, January 4th. Can you believe it?
It is unbelievable.
January 4th, first show of 2022.
It's actually January 5th.
I missed the 4th completely.
It says right down here, Carl. January 5th.
Right where? Right where? January 5th. I can't even read anymore. Can't even read anymore.
Oh, boy.
Hey, welcome to the show, Emily and Henry.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Congratulations.
Thanks for joining us. Mario, how's the snow in Sarasota?
Told you, it's a whiteout. We got 4 feet of snow down here.
Very nice.
Ocean City got 14 inches.
Did they really?
14.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm on the 3rd floor too, so you see how high it is.
Wow. Well, I'll start the show over. It's Wednesday night, January 5th, and this fan's view is proudly sponsored by City Distilling. We're official. We went there and taste tested all the new products, so we've made it official.
Yep.
Since John doesn't drink, we took care of business. So
There you go.
You did his business for me. That's all good.
I know I can vouch for their products. They're good.
Yeah. So, Emily and Henry, welcome to the show. You guys, it's we've met a lot of friends and folks along the way, especially in my business through Carl's Cards, and with the show being relatively new. You guys have just jumped right in and become part of This Fan's View family. You helped out during, the period of me, accidentally being hit by a parked car. So, I can't thank you guys enough for doing that. Lauren, I know Emily and Lauren go way back.
Yeah, she was my friend first.
That's where I was going. So, I'm not trying to steal anything.
It sounds like you are. It sounds like you're buttering her up. It sounds like you are.
I'm just preparing a package deal because it's 2 for 1. Exactly.
By that he means me and Lauren, not me and you.
Right.
No, it's Henry and Emily. I can't thank you guys enough. It's been just unbelievable the way you guys have just jumped right in and helped us all out. In various things. If we needed somebody to walk around with the microphone and handling questions, Emily, you were right there. I didn't know Lauren wasn't there that night. So, it was. I know.
Where's the button? Where's the button?
Her honeymoon.
Dad, don't make me use it.
I just want to see if the interim commission has the authority or not. All right, I'll hand it over to John so he can take care of fantasy football. How about that?
Oh boy.
Is that better?
Oh boy.
Go ahead, John, and your conspiracy theory. Let's go.
My conspiracy theory about fantasy football?
Mm-hmm.
No, we lost again this week. The viewers beat us 171.76 to 165.12. So the viewers have a 11-6 lead for the season. We're down to our last week of the season. Don Hellens was the winner of this week, or the high scorer this week, with the score of 237.56. So he was able to master all the little pitfalls here and there of this past week, which was good to see. And that makes it 17 weeks in a row now that we've had a different winner, a high scorer, I should say. So that's good to see. We are in week 17, actually heading into week 18, and the final scores are getting tallied. And first place and second place is 19 points separating over 17 weeks. So that's how close this is going. It's going right down to the last matchup.
So who are the top 5?
Well, we have Kyle O'Brien is in first. Carolyn Hardy's in second. Paul Fitch is in third. Mark Cadoza is in fourth, and Stephanie Brogdon is fifth.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so everybody's still got a good chance there to get the winner. Of this week, we'll end up getting the prize for the Carl's Cards is donated, the Jason Kelsey autographed jersey from the after we tally up the scores for the year. So it's going to be an interesting one, and then this week's going to be a little tough too with all the not knowing if players are going to be playing this week or not due to teams already having the teams locked up spots in the playoffs, and with the Eagles we don't know with all the COVID issues what's going to happen. So we'll see what happens. So make sure everybody gets their votes in, and then we've had a blast with it this year. We're even going to be doing a Yep. Well, you're fit there, Stephanie. You're doing well. You still got a chance to move up a little bit. We'll be doing a playoff one as well. So after next Monday, make sure you look on there. And we're just going to vote once. So it's nice and easy. You just do one-time votes for the whole playoff run. And so make sure you spread the word and get the word out there to more people. I'd like to try to get 100 people, I think. Would be nice to see going from 78 that we've had for the season to hopefully try to get to 100. That'd be nice.
And we'll announce that prize next week.
Well, we're gonna be on our live show, so yeah.
Right.
We'll see. I mean, it'll be announced basically through the post when I do the. We'll have that up on there for the.
How about we do this? So we'll stir the pot a little bit. We'll see who finishes higher, Henry or Emily, and let them announce it.
Well, you don't have to. You can do that now because
I won. Although he did get high score that one week, and I have not heard the end of that.
Mm-hmm. That week is in question, Emily. Just as a heads up, that week is in question because
my calculator wasn't working real well.
No, the hosts' votes are incorrect.
Is that the week?
Yeah, that week's in question as to where those votes, those picks came from.
It was probably the same. Those picks were probably in the same location as the ones I didn't get back this week either.
Mm-hmm. Oh no! Now I'm on strike. Now you're not getting any picks back. I'm protesting now.
Now you're protesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. That's what you're going with now. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
I answered your other messages, just not that one.
Oh, okay. That's all good.
All right. So fantasy football will be decided by how many points?
Well, right now it's 19 points. Right, going into it. Basically a point a week is all that it's been on average.
Wow.
Separating the top teams there. So it's going to be close. Any game. I mean, Carolyn's been the most consistent of all the players this year. She actually has the high score overall total points. I think by about 15 or 20 points.
That's scary
overall. And because she had better scores to throw away, her point total wasn't as good versus some of the others. But
okay.
But yeah, so it's like I said, it's been back and forth all along. So it's been fun.
With next week being at Dagwoods for our first show of the new year, and I'm sure Brian Propp will give us a few extra minutes to take care of some fantasy football business. So we'll be able to to announce that live, and maybe the person will show up in person to collect the prize.
There you go.
Depending upon who it is.
Yep.
So Mr. Singer wants to know who's had the highest score so far the year.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
It happens.
Would that be him?
That would be Joe. Joe had the highest score with like 187, and then I think Kyle had a 287, and Kyle had a 280 score. So they were right there. But
nice.
Joe's had the high score. Actually, in all 3 years, he's had the highest score.
Really?
Yep. So
Damn.
That's the highest score for all 3 years.
It must be smoking that cigar out on his Floridian room and, in the Florida air. That must be doing it. And for anybody who doesn't know Joe Stinger, he's the guy who submits his picks every week, handwritten on a piece of scratch paper.
Yep.
So,
Which is basically how John does everything as well.
Right.
well, I wasn't going there, but, since you throw him under the bus, okay.
No, that's not throwing. That's actually a big credit in my book because I do everything on a spreadsheet. So much easier. I don't have to add anything. Does it all for me.
Yeah,
I
but
created all the formulas to do it, but it's
yeah,
just easier.
we can't do it with 77 teams to do it. It's too much time.
No, you can.
Okay.
You can. Well, put it this way, John. I do that for a living, so it's a lot easier for me. So
Now you tell me after 18 weeks. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I told you that the first year.
18 weeks, 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. We've been waiting for it for 3 years now.
I told you that the first year we started doing this. I even sent you the spreadsheet.
I never gotten a spreadsheet. That must be with
Oh,
Lauren's
yeah.
message.
Imagine that. Imagine that, Mario. Never got a spreadsheet. Oh,
It
boy.
happens.
I'll tell you.
But see, I would have to enter all the names into the spreadsheet, though, right?
No, I'll come up with something. I'll show it to you for next year.
Well, it changes weekly, Mario.
I know.
So, okay.
I know.
Best of luck, Mario. I
I'll
wish
bet
you
this-
well in your efforts.
Oh yeah, that's all good.
There's
I don't have
Brian
anything
Brown.
else to do,
There's
yeah.
Stirring
Brian
the pot.
Brown with the conspiracy spoon.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I told you.
Oh yeah.
All right. So fantasy football is set aside for another week. It's been a great season because like you said, we've had a bunch of different winners, and
Good.
hopefully, it comes down to a point or two. That'll make it interesting.
Oh yeah. Carolyn stepped up big last week. She had she was like 5th or 6th, I think, this week in scores. She's gonna have to go buy a Najee Harris jersey after he had a big day for her on
I don't think
Monday
she's
night.
buying a Najee Harris jersey. I can almost bet on that.
That last 37-yard touchdown run I'm sure she was getting a little excited for that. So
She might get him a free Wawa coffee on Tuesday because she has a cart card, but that's about it.
there you go. That
Uh,
works.
Very good. Very, very good. So where you guys want to take this tonight? Let's hold our probably our best conversation for last. Do we all agree on that?
It depends on what the best conversation is.
Yeah.
Well, there's really only one team
Yeah,
that's
you got the Eagles in playoffs. That's the
All right. So let's start with the Flyers then.
well. How about the Phillies? Because we don't even have a season. We don't have a contract. We don't have.
Then there's nothing to talk about.
We don't even have our commissioner to help us out. So
Then there's nothing to talk about.
I know, right?
So all right, then let's go to Sixers.
Sixers. Okay. That's Lauren's department.
Well, Joel Embiid got his a little
Player
bit
of
of
the
a
month.
nod, I guess, from the NBA with his Player of the Month, so that was cool. But I don't know I can't really get a feel for them right now, and I think a lot of that just has to do with the COVID issues that they keep going through. Most of the team I don't recognize from night to night.
Right.
There's a couple of guys that I obviously know, but there are names and players that I have never heard of before, and then you never hear of them again. I think they're bringing in a lot of guys from the G League, and I think they signed another guy today from the Blue Coats.
Well, that's their G League team, right?
Yeah. So,
Uh-oh.
yeah, I think they're just. Oh, Emily and Henry said bye.
They said this show's boring. They probably got a better offer already.
Probably. But if that was Henry's fault, Emily is ripping him a new one right now. I can almost guarantee that.
I'd love to see live footage of that. So.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. But
I
yeah,
have
I
it here
don't
on
know.
my camera.
I can't really get into a groove with the Sixers right now.
Right.
It just feels very hit or miss. I mean, Joel Embiid shows up, when he's healthy and plays well every night. Tobias Harris had his first triple-double a couple weeks ago. So, good things are happening. It's just a weird time right now to get into. I don't know. I mean, I watch him and I root for him, and I'm still, Sixers are my number one. It's just a weird time right now.
I was just reading an article just a little bit ago that Tobias Harrison, you brought him up, that he wasn't happy. He's another one that wasn't happy with Philly fans because apparently they have taken to him. Hey, welcome back, guys. Was that Henry's fault by chance?
Something happened.
It was Henry's
So yes,
fault.
yes, it was Henry's fault.
Henry, what's that little mark over your eye?
Mm-hmm. Blink twice if you need help.
Yeah. Yes, it
That a
was
State
Henry's
Farm commercial?
Uh-huh.
I think that was a State Farm commercial.
But anyway, Tobias is upset with the fans now because I guess they're on the seesaw. They're back and forth. Some nights they're in his corner, some nights they're not. So now he's playing the Ben Simmons card. So
Right.
he's not happy.
Oh
So-
yeah. And you can't get back into the words back and forth with the fans.
Right.
No,
You
not
never-
to cheer.
You're never going to win, right?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
You
And
never.
it's a shame because the COVID's has affected him a lot. They're saying, and he's trying to play through it, and he might be the one player too on the team that's affected the most with Ben Simmons not being there, getting them the ball in the proper spots. Playing, with Ben playing with them for the past 2 years prior to that. That could be part of the problem. That he's struggling as well, but then also coming back off of the COVID.
But you know what? I throw all that out the window, John. You know why? Ask me why.
Well, because he's getting paid $30 million.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Come
no,
on. Henry, if you were getting paid that kind of money, would you show up every night? Henry not there with us?
yeah. It looks like they're having a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like their connection's not good.
All right, Mario, if you were being paid $30 million, would you show up every night?
If I was being paid a tenth of that, I would be showing up every night.
I don't get it. I'm having a hard time, figuring out. I mean, there's a guy that doesn't deserve that kind of money, and he got it. He got it, and he's still, as Jack says, underperforming.
Yeah.
I just never saw it to begin with that he was worth that kind of money.
Yeah, he's had flashes. He had the one good year in what was it, Golden State? Was not Golden State, out in L.A. with the Clippers with the
Clippers
with Doc
right?
Rivers.
When he played under Doc.
And then he had a decent year. He had a good year last year, but it just.
But $30 million, good.
Right. Well, no. I mean, I don't know that there's really many Sixers or any basketball players, going there that's worth $30 million over 80 games.
Well, I mean, I hear what Sean's saying. Today's athletes are soft.
Soft or spoiled?
He said
Or both.
He said
Or a little
soft.
bit of both.
For the most part, Joel Embiid shows up every night. If you had another Joel Embiid on your team, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
No.
Right.
You would not be having this conversation at all.
Right.
Some people like him. Some people don't like him. I just think he's the heart and soul of everything that you've got. He's your Jason Kelsey, for crying out loud.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Kelsey's got a busted elbow. He's got a busted knee. And he just, give me another, strap me up, send me back out there.
Yeah, exactly.
I just, it just drives me crazy. It's almost like they're looking for another excuse not to win. We got a sideshow. We're up. We're down. We're in.
We're good.
We're good.
We're good.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
sure
we're good now.
You're good now? Do I need to get Ginny involved because she's on the board?
She's already texting her instructions to me.
Do I need to get
She'd
Mama
like me to
Jean?
move locations and
She's at home with her hand over her head, just
Hey,
shaking
look,
right now.
if it means anything, we've all had these technical
Oh, yeah.
difficulties. Trust me.
Oh, they're definitely amateurs, Jenny. Definitely amateurs.
and
Trust
she just
me.
told me that I was supposed
Tru-
to tell Henry to phone his phone sideways on mute.
We started this
Don't
whole
worry, she's
process
here.
with 2 tin cans and a string. So
Yep.
we've been there.
Yep.
We've been
Pretty
there.
much.
And you know what? We'll walk you
figure it
through
out.
We're just glad to have you. That's all.
Glad to be here.
We're just happy to have you. But yeah, we're talking Sixers and I know Lauren's frustrated and she's not going to call out her team. I just have a tough time watching them. I really do because I just like she was saying, half the nights you don't know who's playing.
Right.
You don't know the guys, and I know it's a COVID season. The whole league's stretched thin, but your top teams are still winning. They're still on top.
But the top teams also have the talent to go beyond their bench.
Well, they're good. They're good 1 through 10 to begin with.
Right.
So their second 5 is probably better than most first 5.
True.
No, I mean, if you want to start talking about, different scenarios, does Brooklyn miss Kyrie Irving? No. They don't miss him at all.
Right. It's not good when you have to go into a game missing somebody. When you don't have that luxury, it's a problem.
Right.
Well, that and plus the whole Ben Simmons thing is still
Well,
Well,
I
that's
think
gonna
that's
be
going to be looming for a while.
That's going to be their out. They're going to use that as their excuse.
true.
That's going to be their out. They're going to be,
And that's all it is an excuse.
exact 100%. 100%.
I still don't understand this Ben Simmons thing. I don't understand how the league can allow this. I don't understand any part of it. How can you just not show up, say you're not playing, and not I don't understand how they're allowing this to continue day after day.
Well, how did the NFL allow somebody to disrobe and run off the field?
Well, it
Yeah, well, that-
unfortunately sets the precedent that this is acceptable and that other players are all watching and can start to follow along.
Right. Well, I mean, that goes perfectly with Tobias Harris, now being annoyed with the fans because
Right.
he probably thinks one comparison to Ben Simmons, this is nothing.
How much can I get away with?
Right. I don't understand how the league hasn't stepped in, how that players union hasn't stepped in to defend themselves against him.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing's. I mean, it goes with Deshaun Watson, the same thing. He's another player, not playing in the NFL. It happens a lot, and it's like you said, it's weird. It shouldn't happen. It just is like a black eye for the leagues.
Well, I just don't understand how it can happen. I don't legitimately understand how a player cannot show up and play on a team he's signed to a contract and no one says anything.
Right.
We're all just sitting here waiting for the next move. Meanwhile, he's moving on with his life. He gets engaged.
Yeah.
He
He's
doesn't
having
seem
parties.
to be missing a beat.
Right.
No. Well, but he's also not getting paid, so it's on him.
But does he need the money? Apparently not.
Well,
Apparently not if he's buying engagement rings.
at some point he is, wouldn't you think?
Well, right. I mean, he was crying poor, so.
Yeah, but poor to him is average for us, or above average for us.
Oh, yeah. It also depends on how much he's mortgaged or whatever.
But is he being fronted by his agent?
Right.
Is that what Jack's saying? You know what I mean? These agents they're pretty wealthy individuals themselves, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
are they being fronted, and down the road they're going to end up getting their money back and a whole lot more, at the end of the day.
Possibly, but I mean, it's not looking good for them though. Clutch Sports either. To have a guy. It's one thing if you only have 1 year left on a contract to be trying to pull the, you're not playing for them. But what's he got? 4 years left.
We got 4 years of this.
Yep.
Well, I mean, potentially, and plus, like I think, if I'm not mistaken, this year doesn't really count. So, like, if he doesn't play this year, they
we
still
have
have
5 more years.
Well, they still have him for 4 more years. After this, like,
Jesus.
so it's not like it's going
That's
away.
ridiculous.
So
last year our whipping boy was Carson Wentz, right? So, this year it's Ben Simmons. Who's next? Can anybody zero in on who our next Philly whipping boy can be?
Well, if it keeps up, it could be Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know who could be.
Amazing you don't see hockey players acting like this.
Well, first off, they come from a different background.
Right.
The culture's a little bit different. The families are a little bit different. We've heard many of them, tell us, their background and whatnot. They're not used to this kind of money being thrown at them.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? What hockey there? I don't think there's a hockey player playing that makes $30 million a year.
Right. What's it
Well,
like? 10 million?
that's your number one.
So, I think Kane
We got Reese Hoskins on the board.
I would agree with that. I would agree with him as the next
whipping boy.
Yeah.
Well,
we got to keep moving the.
we talked. We talked about that a few weeks back, right? Reese got into it. When he was walking back to the dugout after striking out and got into it with the fans a little bit.
Right.
And that seemed to calm down and settle down. And Reese doesn't remind me of one of them kind of guys. I think that was more out of frustration,
Right.
No
than
doubt.
any-
No doubt
than
about that.
anything. I think he's one of the good old boys. I still believe in Hoskins.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that was pure frustration. Could he become the next whipping boy? I think the guy playing the other hot corner might get it before him.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
But,
Or there could be 2. Who knows?
yeah, it
But
could be.
I think there's a trend. I mean, even if you look back on this past summer, Velasquez also was cursing out the fans as well. He's not here anymore, but it's definitely players feeling that they can go back at the fans and do things like that.
Well, we've had a few in the Phillies family. Who's the other? He went to Boston to play and played well this year. The pitcher, Nick Pivetta.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right.
Nick kind of went a little crazy there for a while. Vinny Velasquez, like you said, Emily, he had no problem, getting in everybody's face. They showed footage of him at a bus going to the player bus, right? And he was ready to take on a dozen guys that night, I think.
Oh yeah.
I know it's frustrating. It has to be frustrating because the players are so close, and in basketball, they're so close to the fans.
Right.
You could only imagine what's being said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can only and the frustration. Sure, I mean we're all fans and we're frustrated. We're frustrated over the whole Ben Simmons saga, and we don't even know what we're frustrated over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other than he's not playing. I mean,
Right.
that's what we're frustrated at, and nobody will give you a damn answer. Nobody will come out and say, what the problem is. You just got everybody protecting one another, and it's crazy.
Seems like the Ben thing is just over. Nobody had his back, after that last game of the, against the Hawks.
All right, well, excuse me. Let me go get a box of tissues.
Right. Oh no, well, I mean, but that's where it all came from when Doc Rivers said that he wasn't, potentially he couldn't answer if he was a world champion point guard. So he got his feelings hurt because of that. So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just I know we've wasted, and I use the word wasted a lot of time on this show. Talking about Ben Simmons when I mean, I just, will the real 76ers team please stand up, and who can that be?
Well, your main starting five are back tonight. Doc Rivers is back tonight, so
there you go. This would be a win.
Down in
this
Orlando.
is it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a lot better once the trade is made. Once something gets figured out with Ben, that'll be the elephant out of the room then, and you can move on. So,
well, I mean, as far as Philly fans, I mean, it's and we're going to get into this in a little bit because we're going to save the hot topic for last. But it's Dallas week, and it doesn't even feel like Dallas week.
right?
You know what I mean? Usually, the Dallas week, the fans are fired up, the players are fired up, and it just doesn't feel. It doesn't have that same feel. Do you guys agree?
Oh,
well, does this game mean anything to anybody?
Yeah, the Cowboys. The Cowboys need the win.
And we can't let them win.
Well, see, there you go. You've answered the question.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's the elephant in the room, right?
Yeah, I mean, it means more to the Cowboys. Not that obviously they want to give you a 2 seed instead of a 4 seed, but both teams are in the playoffs, so it's just a matter of getting home field advantage for the playoffs. Would be the difference.
Well, while we still have Jack on the board, because I know it's tough keeping Jack on the board for an hour. Let's talk some Flyers, because the Flyers have got their own problems. I saw where a couple more players have entered the COVID protocol for tonight. I know Travis Konechny was one. Who did we lose?
Lauren.
Lauren.
Hey, you guys are taking turns on me, right? You guys are trying to confuse me. I don't know if it's the 4th or the 5th. I don't know where you guys went. Come on, seriously.
That's why we get 4 or 5 views.
Wow. Yeah, for sure. Or
was it that the true commissioner took control of the buttons?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Maybe he came home and he's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
He finally got out of the bedroom from being hogtied in the bedroom because he wasn't doing stuff.
Oh my God. She's not even
somebody
here to
asked
defend
Dave
herself.
Schultz what he thinks about Ben Simmons. I think we asked that question.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah,
afraid
Herman's not allowed to ask questions anymore.
Uh-huh. That was
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
was rewarded. We had him on the show. We have him on the show.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
JD wants to know if John ever leaves the store. I say no.
Yeah, I have a cot in the back room. It's all good.
Well, wait, weren't you sleeping upstairs?
Yeah, I got kicked out of up there. It was too many steps. Nah, it was just too many steps to go up.
You must be sleeping on cardboard boxes. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take all the stuff off that table. That's good, right, John?
Yeah, the styrofoam in the boxes where it goes. It's nice and it's all good.
But anyway,
Wow.
you got Flyers, Penguins tomorrow night. Again, another big rivalry, right?
Right.
I mean, we used to talk. I know back in the day it was a great rivalry to go up against, Mario and the Penguins.
Yeah, even with Crosby, it's still,
it just seems watered down now. And,
Yeah.
well, now, but I'm saying that 4 or 5 years ago, going against Crosby.
Yeah. It just doesn't have that same feel anymore. I don't know. Is it just, they play them too much? Where they play them 7 times a year?
Yeah, I mean, that could be.
I don't know. It's Philly sports is, I keep going back to it. I talk about it. I write about it. I dream about it. The Eagles brought us a championship out of the blue. The Phillies brought us a championship out of the blue. Can anybody make a prediction? I mean, can you see one of these current teams?
No.
It just,
Nope.
I mean, the chemistry just, you got to have good players and players that want to, bust their ass, night in and night out. And I just don't see it. You know what I mean? You can pick the sport.
I don't know. I think the Sixers, if they get the proper move for Simmons, they can make it run in the playoffs.
I know,
Well, if they can keep a static team, I think they could do a lot better than they're doing now. Because right now, you never know who's going to be in, so
right.
you don't have that chemistry.
But you know what? Here's my 2 cents, and it's worth nothing. You have the constant everyday rumors of a Ben Simmons trade.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
Who's going to be packaged to leave Philadelphia? Is it going to be your newest shining star in Maxey? Danny Green. That can't be good for the locker room. I'm sorry, that can't be good.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the big thing, because I think once that's out of the way, that would solve a lot of problems for the Sixers. Because that's what they're missing, is that one closer. The closeout games. And Embiid's doing everything he can. I mean,
that's what I said earlier in the show. Can we get one more player to go along with him to help him out? That's all. That's all you need. Some nights you get Curry, some nights you don't. I mean, you just don't get it on a consistent basis, and that's the difficulty. You look at the Flyers. They spent all that money, and we can bring up a really sore subject in the guy they brought out of Nashville, Ellis. We may not see him with that injury. We may not see him the rest of the year.
Yeah.
What is it going to take to get that one other player? Do you see that one player on the team now, or are you saying we need to go out and get that one player?
And what team are we talking about? What
Sixers?
Sixers. I don't think they're good enough to win with what they have right now. I really don't. I don't think they have what it takes to get to the finals.
Right, and we need that one other player to help Embiid, right?
Oh, positively.
Right.
I think they need a legitimate point guard, a Ben Simmons type player. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what they can. Can you imagine if you weren't going through all this nonsense with Ben Simmons and he was on the court and he played through this, and his teammates lifted him up
a whole
above.
different season.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But so my question is, you're the GM. What trade do you make?
Well, the problem is the elephant that's in front of you, and you can't move. You can't do anything until you take care of the Ben Simmons saga. You've got to take care of that first.
Yeah, and plus, it's because of the money that he makes.
Right.
You have to get a high caliber player back in return.
Right.
Who's making a lot of money, because that's the way it is in the NBA. So
I agree with Jack. Yeah, he still can't shoot, but he can certainly do everything else on the court that the rest of these guys have not been able to do. He makes. Hey, was that a TV timeout?
Sorry, my laptop died. I also didn't want Emily and Henry to feel bad that they were the only amateurs on the show. So no, my laptop died, so it took a minute to reboot. Sorry about that.
So what do I got to do? Send everybody a text message in the morning. Make sure you charge your stuff. Make sure this. Make sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh man. Anyway. We're talking Flyers. We're talking Sixers. We're still talking Ben Simmons, for crying out loud. You ain't missing
Who do you think wants him? Who do you think would trade for him though?
No one.
Right. That's the problem.
Because he wanted to go to Golden State, right?
I think that's his dream team.
And they were like flat out, no, I'm not going there. I'm never going there.
Well, they offered you a bag of balls and the ball boy. I think that's what they offered you.
Right.
All right.
Unfortunately, that might be what we have to take at some point.
Right, exactly.
Well, look at if you're able to trade Carson Wentz and that contract, right? I know it's not the same money; it's a lot more, but they were able to
eat a $30 million contract.
Well, you're going to have to make it work. You're going to have to figure out something.
Well, the thing is, you're not eating at the $30 million because you're going to be taking back $30 million when you make the trade. It's just a matter of who that $30 million is coming back with.
Do you really think somebody's going to take that for him? No.
Well, it might be 2 or 3 pieces. All it has to do is the money has to just, match up. So, it's
all right. It's 7:10. We've talked enough of this nonsense about these losing Philadelphia teams. Let's talk about the winning team in football, the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Go
Playoff.
Birds.
January football.
Yeah.
What day is it? January 5th.
There we go. Yes, it is.
Still down here at the bottom, Carl.
No, I got my voiceover in the back.
I believe that.
But no, it's like you said though, it is a unfortunate situation because of the Eagles Dallas week. That it doesn't really mean much, so it does damper things a little bit. And plus, there's a potential we can play them again, the following week as well.
Right.
So that'll have things all pumped up on top of the playoffs. All hype of that. So
what's the best situation we can be in, John?
the best situation?
Yeah.
As crazy as it sounds, I think I want to play the Buccaneers.
Really?
Yeah, just because they're beat up a little bit.
Yeah, but that's not going to last.
Well, no. Well, Chris Godwin's out for the year, and Leonard Fournette. I'm not sure if he's going to be back in time for the playoffs, or at least that first round. Losing Antonio Brown's going to hurt them as well. So they're going to be limiting their quality of wide receivers for Brady to throw to. TB1,
is that who we're talking about? The guy with how many Super Bowls?
Right.
Brady doesn't need anybody else.
The guy who
He's
makes
gonna
plays
win the whole game.
happen.
Oh yeah, but you just saw like this week they struggled against the Jets. That they had to pull it out at the last second. They
just want to get to the playoffs. That's
no,
right.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, your other options would be the Rams. The Rams are pretty high powered, with a good defense.
That's the team I don't want to play right now.
Right, and then you got the Cardinals. They're a team that is very good on paper. It's a matter of if they can play. They haven't done it in the playoffs, so I mean they might be another option that it might be good to play against. But it's just and then you get the Cowboys. And the first meeting this year didn't go as well as we would have liked to seen it. So. It's going to be tough no matter who you're going to pick, when you get to the playoffs. But, the Buccaneers are probably a team that may be able to be beat in the first round if we're able to get there, against them. So I don't know.
The one thing we have to do though is run the ball.
Oh yeah, well they're definitely going to be doing that. So I mean, that's what.
I don't know. They didn't do it against the Giants.
Well, I mean, teams are going to try to take that away from them, but that offensive line though is a good chance. So you get that.
God.
So let's address Brian Brown. Anyone see that T.O. wants to take Brown's place in Tampa?
I did see that.
Yeah.
So you trade one psycho for another.
Two things. Brian Brown, send T.O. a message and let him know that the USFL is opening up for April football, and maybe he could try out for one of those teams.
Exactly.
I'm so sick and tired of T.O. talk.
Oh, he's just got to get his name out there.
Oh, my God.
Right. He is accomplishing exactly what he wants. Everyone talking about him.
Right.
He knows he's not going to take him. Right.
He knows he's not going there. He just says, "Yeah, sure, I'll play for them." Just because you're in shape for a normal human versus a professional football player, it doesn't mean.
How old is he?
Well,
he's got to be up there.
I'm sure he's probably pushing his 40s. But he hasn't played in 5-6 years.
Right.
So it's just.
T.O.
But,
Time out.
but I mean, who would you guys want to see them face?
I'm okay going to Tampa. I'm okay going to Tampa.
Yeah,
I'm okay going down there. I don't want to. I wouldn't want to play the Cowboys back-to-back weeks, even if this week means nothing and you basically, hand them the W. I definitely wouldn't want to go play the Rams and have to travel out to the West Coast. That doesn't sound good.
right.
The Rams are very high potent right now. They built this team for the playoffs.
Right. Oh yeah.
I think if we do come
Arizona, I mean, I don't know how how it's going to fall. Whether Arizona could be a possibility.
Wow, he's 48 years old.
Is he 48? Is he? Yeah. Timeout. Timeout's 48.
Yeah.
I guess his time is out.
Jesus. If we end up coming to Tampa, I might have to sell some stocks and go to that game.
So, Lauren, who would you want, Lauren? Because I know you were shaking your head when we said Brady going to Tampa, but
yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I'd like to avoid Brady as much as possible. We beat him once. I'm not really interested in tempting that fate again. So no, I'd like to avoid Brady as much as possible because I know they struggled against the Jets last week, but there had to have been some stuff going on in that locker room that I think also added to maybe why they were struggling with that whole Antonio Brown situation. Something led to that. There was smoke before that happened. So something led to that.
I'm sure
moment.
there's stuff on the sidelines that was going on.
Yeah, and that carried through practice during the week, and I guarantee you that was part of it, and especially with Brady because he was a proponent of him coming there.
Right.
He wanted him, and that's what happens, and I think that's kind of threw Brady off his game a little bit, but other than that, nothing really rattles him.
Right.
So I would expect him to be right back at it with as if so. No, I'd like to avoid Brady, let somebody else knock that team off. I'll take a lesser team, but Brian Brown said it a little bit earlier. No one expected the Eagles to even be in the playoffs to begin with. We never expected them to be in this conversation. So I'm just happy to have football for another week. And if they lose in that first game, I think it's going to be great experience for Jalen Hurts and the coaching staff and everybody. And we'll get right back on the saddle for next year. If they win, great. We'll kind of ride this out for as long as we can. But I don't really have any expectations. I'm just glad to see them sort of play the way they have.
Yeah. I mean, everything right now is you're playing with house money right now. Going forward, like you said, I didn't expect them to be where they're at. And the only one I think that probably did was Shawnee. Shawnee said it from the beginning of the year. He said 9-10 wins and possibly the playoffs. So, it was just, everything fell into place for them and they took advantage of it. And which is what you got to do as a football team. And like I said, once you get in, I mean, just like the Eagles this week with having 12 players on COVID, who's to say, we go into next week and whoever we're playing, they have an outbreak on their team and we win that game that we weren't expecting.
Look at the Eagles. They played and the next day 12 of them. It's like a breakout drill.
Right.
But that's great. Get it over with now.
Right.
I'd rather it be this week than next week. So
exactly.
You know what I mean? Get it out of our systems, even if that means we have to lose to the Cowgirls on Saturday night. We have to hear those fans. So be it. I'd rather those guys have to sit Saturday night and rest up because I think that's what you're experiencing with a lot of these teams not playing well. I mean, the Sixers are kind of getting blown out at the moment. But when you have COVID, literally have it, not just have been exposed, it's sometimes a lot for your body to come back from.
Right.
And so I'm sure these guys are dealing with that. So the guys that they put on the COVID protocol list, if they're actually battling it, give them as much time as you can before they got to go in round one to recover as much as possible.
Right.
Well, you kind of answered it.
Was the quarantine like now? Isn't it 5 days?
5, yeah.
Well, it's so
5 days if you're vaccinated.
but 5 days if you're vaccinated and boosted, not 5 days if you're just vaccinated. You have to be boosted as well, which not many people did right away.
Yeah.
Which, right, wrong, or indifferent, there's just so many different scenarios now.
Mhm.
Masked, unmasked, 15 minutes, 5 days. There's just so many things. Carter Hart had an interesting comment about how it's ridiculous in the NHL that these players are being put on the protocol list when they're either mild symptoms or no symptoms, and something has to be done. I don't know if he just got here or where he's been for the last 2 years, but I don't think that's going to happen, Carter. So unless you're interested in being the next whipping boy, I would just sit on that COVID protocol list until they tell you you're done, and then go play.
Right.
Well, my deal with Carter Hart is he needs to stay out of screwballs and King of Prussia. That's what he needs to do. You know what I mean? Yeah,
or at least wear a mask.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but then he can't show them cute little girls his pretty little smile.
Right.
And his new mustache.
Yeah.
So Shawnee's asking, what do we think for the Eagles? With all this COVID thing, are we going to play our starters, or we, not playing at all?
Henry
I
and
think
I will be there. He's ready to go in as a tight end if need be.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a little Minshew mania if I'm not, I like that guy. He is scrappy.
Why not? He's hungry.
I don't know. When you look at him, he looks nothing like a football player. He looks like a fan they just plucked out of the stands.
Did you see his reaction though when after he won his game? Did you see his reaction with his dad?
Yeah. That was awesome.
It almost reminds you a little bit of the movie Invincible, and just like the way he was with his dad, the way they seem like pure fans whose son happens to be good at football and is now the backup quarterback for the Eagles. And I don't know. I like that kid a lot. And so I wouldn't mind seeing that Saturday night. Also, if he beat the Cowboys, that would be,
oh my God,
the fans would love him. They would,
forever.
It would be a,
but don't you think if he beats the Cowboys, especially after Jalen's performance earlier in the year, the fans are going to want Minshew to be the
They already
quarterback?
do.
Thanks.
They already do.
I don't know.
Thanks for answering that, because I would have gotten in trouble if I said that, Emily.
Oh, John, you're so touchy on the Eagles. I don't know. I mean, I always think there's that weird sort of quarterback controversy, goalie controversy. Like anytime somebody plays a little bit better, that conversation always comes up, which I think it must be hard for the actual starters, because it always feels like the fans are calling for someone else.
But part of that is because there's a lot of people out there that don't like Hurts. So as soon as Minshew comes in and does anything remotely good, they're going to want him in there.
Yeah, I just don't see how you put Jalen Hurts out there Saturday night for no reason.
Especially with the offensive line that's not going to be there, and
Right.
So
and the Cowboys going to come to play.
Yeah, but to be honest, this game means nothing. They get blown out 100-0. Oh well, it doesn't mean anything for the Eagles or anything. You just play the game as long as you come out of it healthy. That's all that matters. That you're ready to play for the playoffs.
What are the chances the Cowboys can move up a spot, right?
Yeah, they could do a little bit. I mean, they need help. I mean, it's they got to have everybody lose, and ahead of them.
So
to be able
wouldn't
to
they want to go into a playoff game with the same idea that we've just kicked around for an hour? Like you want to be as healthy as possible, and the
only thing is they just want to move up so they get that home field event, that home game.
Right. So that's the big thing that's on the plate for them.
Right.
Is win Saturday night, but they're still not guaranteed the home field, are they?
Oh no, because the other teams have to lose.
Exactly.
Type of thing. But at least playing on Saturday night kind of forces them. Like if they were playing Sunday, Sunday later Sunday, and they know all the teams lost or won ahead of them, then it means nothing to them. They can't do anything.
Which is why they made him play Saturday.
Well, possibly, but I don't know about that because the other teams, have just as much to play for as well. The Buccaneers want to win so that they could have home field.
That's a great Saturday doubleheader starting at 4:30.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's some good football right there.
Oh, yeah.
Someone will be leaving the store at 4:00.
Hey! I don't leave early. Don't accuse. No.
He's got a TV there.
But talking about meaningless football, how about the scenario if the Jaguars beat the Colts, the Browns, the Raiders and the Chargers, they could tie the game. They're saying that they could actually kneel down every play, and both of those two teams get into the playoffs.
On that note, it's 7:30, and John has lost his mind.
But I mean that just is like this goes against all of sports, but also you want to get into the playoffs. Like right. if that's your way to get into the playoffs, it's like do you do it or you don't? You know what I mean? It's like because if one of them if they lose then one would be like one's out.
Look at that game last year with Peterson, right, against Washington,
right.
where
he pulled everybody out.
He pulled the starters in the second half and supposedly threw the game and la-di-da and
right. But could you imagine that though if they actually did that? How football would be if they all just
who's the other game Saturday is Kansas City and Cleveland?
Is it Cleveland?
Broncos.
It's probably they're probably playing the West. The
Kansas City and Denver.
Right.
Kansas City and Denver. Belinda was asking.
Yeah.
Some good football on Saturday. Some good, I mean, just some good NFL football to, I don't know. You guys want to make some picks? You want to make some predictions, or, I'm open to whatever.
Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to lose.
Mm-hmm. Predictions for what? For just the Eagles? What?
Yeah, let's go Cowboys Eagles Saturday night, and who they're going to face in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you basically got to pick the winner of the Cowboys Eagles game Saturday night, and then who they're going to play the following week. So you got to put your thinking cap on just a little bit.
All right, Eagles going to win Saturday. I think they're going to play Dallas again the next week.
That's the easy. That was the easiest answer you could have come up with. Come on.
Yeah, but if the Eagles beat the Cowboys, they're not playing each other again.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. They won't play each other.
Yeah, that's gonna push them out west, right?
Yeah. Because the Cowboys won't. The only way the Eagles can play the Cowboys is if the Cowboys get the 2 seed or. Would get the 2 seed because if the Eagles win, they have a chance to move up to the 6 seed. So, that wouldn't work. It's the Rams, Buccaneers, or Cardinals really.
I
wouldn't mind seeing the Cardinals. I mean, that'd be that have some fun stuff in it with Zach Ertz being the tight end now, and that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that would be interesting.
That
would be exciting.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles definitely win Saturday night. Definitely. Because if you don't have your starters playing, you have all these backup guys who are going to be so energized, not only to play,
right,
but to play against the Cowboys, our biggest rival. I mean, the energy doesn't really get better than that. Plus, there's nothing on the line. There's no risk. They go out there, they play the game that they love, and if they win, great. If they don't, well, nice try. You're backups anyway.
And it could be the last game they play for the season.
Right, but I think it's going to be one of the biggest games they've ever been in. So I think the Eagles win out regardless. And I don't know who they play the following week. That's too advanced for me. But I think whoever they do play, they also win as well, because I think the momentum of just the entire team, the coaching staff, just everything in general will play into their favor. So whoever they play, they win.
I
The
think
the Eagles would win?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, when you're saying it, I just want to clarify.
Yes, I know, John. You just want to clarify so it's on record. So when you
so
scour these
that.
videos.
I didn't say that. I was just saying I wasn't sure.
Wow, Joe's calling for a crushing.
Yeah.
Joe, got too many cigars.
Joe Stogie must have ran out a while ago.
Yeah, too many cigars.
I'm going to go Eagles. Eagles win, regardless of whoever plays. I just think the momentum at the Link Saturday night, the fans are going to be going crazy. I think, you want to beat the Cowboys anytime. I don't care where the game's played or what it's for. You always want to beat the Cowboys. And you know what? If you get them again the following week, let's beat them again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's reinforce it and show the world. I know I've been hearing it for weeks now that, John keeps telling me, that Hurts ain't played nobody and he ain't beat nobody. Well, guess what? If he gets a shot at the Cowboys in round one of the playoffs and stomp some Cowboy ass, I think that'll even get John's attention.
Well, it's funny you should mention that Jalen Hurts hasn't played anybody because the videos that I have scoured, he talks about how tough the schedule was going to be and how they were going to struggle because the teams they were going to face were Super Bowl contending teams and how tough that was going to be.
In the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
That was exactly the way it was. The first 11 games.
Right. You also said they'd be 2-9 in the first 11 games. That was wrong. You said they wouldn't win 3 games in a row. That was wrong. You said they weren't going to the playoffs. That was wrong. So what else you got for me, John?
I agree with what I told you. I said it was 2-9. I said there's when they were 2-5. I said there's a good chance that they could go 2-9. You're right.
But it wasn't 2-9.
It wasn't. You're right.
Right, and it
they
wasn't
got their own argument going over on that side. Henry, Emily, what do you guys got next week? What are you thinking?
I think that the Eagles are going to win on Saturday night. I unfortunately then think we're going to face the Bucs and lose to Brady.
Oh boy,
Mhm.
you drank too much of the Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
you guys have been hanging out with John for too long.
You already went against him once and won. He's going to be feeling that momentum of, even though it's a different quarterback and a completely different team at this point, I still think he won't want to have lost to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Your mom just disowned you.
Your mother disowned you.
I know. Her and Henry both.
Yep.
My dad's probably like, yeah, Emily's right.
Oh, Jesus.
What do you got, Henry? Come on, help the boys out.
I think Eagles win tomorrow.
Saturday.
Not tomorrow.
Saturday. We don't
Not
play tomorrow.
It's been a long week.
It's Wednesday.
Eagles win Saturday. I'm actually hoping for a win, possibly if we face the Bucs, possibly against the Bucs. I see a win against them. That's if we continue to increase our run game, play off that very well. I see possibly winning against the Bucs if we play them.
Well, we got a divided room here, which is good. John, I don't want to leave you out. You got a prediction?
Well, I think they're going to lose this week, and not because of anything with the Eagles. I don't think they're going to. The only reason I say that is because I don't think they're going to be playing anybody. That's the only reason why. I don't think they're going to play anybody, and plus I don't think they want to show. And it's no negative, Lauren. The game means nothing to the Eagles. That's the only reason why I say that. I don't think they're going to win just because of that. They don't. And plus, I don't think they want to show anybody, the Cowboys, what they're going to do if they have to play them. Because, like you've said, since we played the Cowboys week 2 of the season, we have a running game now. So why are you going to show that to the Cowboys? Playing them, possibly the week after, in the playoffs when it means something. So I don't think they're going to show much to them. Plus, you got Boston Scott and Howard are on COVID, so they may not even be playing. So this game means nothing to me as far as wins loss. It means it's almost irrelevant. It doesn't even count.
All right, so let's skip this week. How about next week?
And then if they play the Bucs, I'll give them a slight chance of winning with the Bucks. How's that?
It is supposed to snow on Thursday night, folks.
Well, because I just give you my honest opinion. So I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, I think the Bucks are the team that they have a chance to win against, if at all, type of thing. But that would be my my good thoughts there for the Bucks.
All right, there you have it.
So
it's this fan's views, opinions, and we're staked by no one. So
some are.
And I mean, no. See, you just can't let it go.
Oh, no.
You can't.
Nope.
He's
Not even a
got
little.
to have the last say all the time.
No,
I can't imagine what Jen must deal with in an argument.
I think he's lost. I think he's lost a few of those battle royals. Trust me.
sure.
No, probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I want to thank our guests, Emily, Henry. Thanks for coming on board with us. It was fun. You're welcome back anytime, regardless of what everybody's been saying. It's strictly their opinion, and that means nothing. So it was great having you.
Maybe I'll get a mom back.
I'll talk to her next week.
Okay.
How's that?
Put in a good word for me.
I will. Absolutely. Mario, stay well down there in Florida.
I'm going to try.
Take your vitamins.
Yep.
Vitamin C for all that sun, right?
Vitamin D.
D. Sorry, I missed an letter in the alphabet.
A day in the week, a letter in the alphabet. We started the show confused.
Doesn't matter.
It's all the same.
All that matters is City Distillery. If you haven't tried them, you need to.
Do they ship?
They do.
They ship. Absolutely, they do.
And they also have a C and a D, Carl. They have a C and a D in their thing. So you're good with that.
Yeah.
There you go. I know what I'm doing after the show.
There you go. You go. Give them a shot, and give them. Let them know about this fan's view, because I think there's a discount code to you can apply.
All right.
So
I think they're still even doing that special for 2 bottles for $22 or something. I believe is still
there. You go.
Still going. So
Yep.
There you go.
Get on that before that ends up. But Emily and Henry, get us a win this week, would you? Since
Absolutely.
You're going to be down there at the game.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you guys going to the game?
Yeah, we're going to the game on Saturday.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good
thanks,
for
Aunt
you.
Ralph.
There, did I miss that? Was I sleeping?
My aunt was supposed to go with friends. They ended up not being able to go, and she texted us last night, so we're going
Nice.
now.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Box seats too.
Box seats, yeah.
There you
Good
go.
for you. Good for you.
That was the whole comment about Henry might be ready to play tight end if need be with the COVID.
Well, that's also because we have no tight ends right now.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go. Guys, great show. Come on out next week to Dagwoods. Brian Propp will be our guest. He's got the whole lineup of cigars. If you'd like to pre-order, those are available as well. You can order them and pick them up at Dagwoods. We'll all be there.
Yep, absolutely.
Sure will.
Well, Mario, unfortunately,
I'll be there. I'll be watching.
you'll
Absolutely.
be watching. You'll be watching. So take care. Be well. Be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. Take care.
Absolutely.
All righty.
See ya.